Our protagonist awakens, or perhaps remains, in a state of pensive introspection, having apparently experienced the most thrilling of inner monologues, a dream, specifically one about Len Ashton. In a shocking turn of events, a simple herbal errand becomes a full-blown family tragedy. Father bravely fights wolves, then dies, leading to the village's fiery destruction and numerous casualties. Classic, really. Our young hero, amidst a burning village and a failing promise to his mother, is utterly useless. Thankfully, a mysterious woman with knights arrives just in time to heroically save everyone. Convenient. Apparently, not all heroes wear capes, but they do tend to have an air of divine intervention. This mysterious rescuer, deemed a saintess, attends to the protagonist's mother, truly cementing her angelic image. Turns out, that whole traumatic flashback, the dead father, burning village, and saintly savior, might just be Len's actual past, as chronicled in some legend. What a shocker. The protagonist wakes from his dream, pondering if his prophetic vision of Len's past was supposed to unfold differently. He muses about non-hostile relationships while still a captive. What a predicament. Our discerning protagonist, still chained, contemplates the deeper motives behind Len's alleged murder, before realizing their journey has conveniently paused. Apparently, dramatic pauses are mandatory for existential crises. Chained up and unceremoniously dumped, our hero requests basic amenities and freedom, only to be told by his hooded captor to simply sort it out himself. Captivity, it seems, builds character. The captor, having already provided potions and herbs, refuses further pampering, then reveals a convenient magic tool that ensures no one hears the protagonist's complaints. Bedtime, peasant. The protagonist, ever the resourceful one, manages a daring escape from his chains to provide his fellow captive with water, because apparently dehydration is a more pressing concern than escape. Priorities. Observing his fellow captive's rapidly declining health, our hero dramatically declares that tonight is the night for action, because nothing says urgency like waiting until the absolute last minute. Oh, what a lovely night for a leisurely stroll into certain doom, apparently. Our protagonist observes the serene natural beauty, complete with a broken carriage and a conveniently deceased horse. Just your average Tuesday evening. Turns out, being shackled is merely a suggestion for our protagonist. He dramatically conjures a demon sword of metal from the earth, effortlessly shattering his restraints. Talk about an over-the-top prison break. With his new, ridiculously sharp demon sword, our hero demonstrates its impressive chain-breaking and lock-picking capabilities. He then rescues a distressed young girl from the wagon, apparently unaware of the lurking hooded figure. Typical hero stuff. Just when things seemed settled, a giant, fanged monster suddenly makes an entrance, flanked by smaller flying creatures. Our hero, understandably, looks less than thrilled about this unexpected turn of events. Who saw that coming? The situation escalates quickly as a dragon-like creature immediately attacks the wagon, sending the girl flying. Our protagonist, ever the picture of grace under pressure, is unceremoniously knocked unconscious next to the wreckage. Truly heroic. The wagon spectacularly self-destructs, creating an impressive explosion of splinters. The previously passive hooded figure, now standing amidst the debris, seems just as bewildered as the attacking monster. Peak tactical brilliance, truly. Well, look at that. Our protagonist, still conveniently shackled, demonstrates unexpected agility by swinging his chain and pendant combo like a deadly flail. Who needs freedom when you have creative weaponry? Evidently, the monster has some questions about the provenance of the protagonist's makeshift weapon. Meanwhile, the horse, a creature of pure instinct, apparently manages to snap its tether and flee the scene of utter chaos. Smart move. And now, for his next trick, our hero produces a demon sword of wood, because clearly, conventional metal weapons are far too pedestrian for this situation. The monster, naturally, screams in confused alarm. Our villain, now inconveniently bound by organic tendrils, expresses appropriate bewilderment at this sudden display of natural magic. Who knew trees could be so judgy about monster etiquette? Having been thoroughly disrespected by the local flora, the monstrous antagonist, still inexplicably trapped, somehow manages to wield a giant branch and declare that escape is futile. Riveting strategy. Just when you thought the wooden sword was peak innovation, our hero, holding the girl, pulls out another, equally absurdly named weapon. The demon sword of banditry. The monster, predictably, is baffled. The hooded figure loses their staff, the horse runs off with the girl, and the hero embraces his ward, all while a tiny dragon looks confused. Peak chaos, really. Our intrepid hero, still embracing the child, is now dramatically engulfed by the monstrous maw of the enraged beast. Apparently, the demon sword of banditry wasn't quite the instant win. The monster's attempt at a quick snack is met with a blinding flash, a surprisingly effective defense from the hero, who knew pure light could deter a giant, darkness-themed beast. After a blinding flash, the monster recoils in surprise, providing a brief window for the hero and girl to escape on horseback. Meanwhile, the hooded figure, now free, utters a generic villainous threat. Our hooded antagonist, not one to be outdone, decides to summon an army of beasts of the forest by dramatically extending his arms. Because a singular, massive monster simply wasn't enough drama. Indeed, the forest has beasts, now summoned to chase our fleeing hero and his ward. Turns out, the antagonist's strategy involves more than just big teeth. It also includes an inconvenient horde of grunting animals. Learning from the local wildlife, our villain demonstrates he's not just a pretty face but also a capable monster wrangler. Good thing our hero conveniently remembered he had an ancient, ridiculously named sword. Turns out, a young girl on horseback with a massive sword is surprisingly effective at crowd control. The beast horde, apparently, hadn't accounted for such an energetic equestrian charge. Poor planning, really. After the chaotic beast brawl, our duo makes a surprisingly loud exit, leaving the villain to dramatically flail in despair. Perhaps his weaker-than-himself monster management strategy has a few flaws. Having barely survived the initial onslaught, another abrupt impact forces our hero into a protective embrace. One might say this heroic escape has more obstacles than anticipated. Escaping one set of creatures only to be greeted by a flaming beast from above is hardly an improvement. Our hero and his horse are now experiencing a rather literal baptism by fire. Finally, a moment of respite. After a rather explosive chase, our heroes successfully outrun the remaining pursuers, leaving only a suspiciously distant fire to mark their dramatic departure from the villain's grasp. Back at headquarters, the new boss, Lizard Clausel, learns his daughter Lisha has been inconveniently kidnapped. Apparently, peace was a fleeting concept after that whole explosive escape. One of Lizard's rather melodramatic subordinates grovels, demanding more time to save the young lady from her current predicament. Clearly, this is an unforgivable failure on his part. The new boss, Lizard, conveniently reminds his subordinate that Lisha commanded his departure, absolving him. Now, they must inform everyone, from faction nobles to the emperor himself, about this delicate incident. Perfect timing. Before Lizard can even finish strategizing, visitors from the imperial capital arrive, claiming to represent the Minister of Justice. Surely, this is just a friendly social call, right?